What enables people to do amazing stuff? Do you remember that guy, Felix Baumgartner, the guy that jumped out of space back on Earth? What enables someone like him to do something that nobody has ever done before, where we weren't really sure whether it was actually possible? I guess there's a lot of different things that you could say that enabled that. You know, talent, determination, or complete madness. I would like to offer to break it down to something really simple. That is, he believed that it was possible to do what he did. If you walk around in the world today, you ask people my age, how do you see the future? I guess many people will say, I don't know. Everything is changing. There's so much coming up that we don't understand well or at all, and there's not much in place to really guide us through it. So I'm not here today to explain. I think it's big, it's complex, and we most likely only understand it afterwards anyways. I'm here today to talk about hope, to talk about my journey to hope, and what I'm doing with it today. So I grew up in Germany. I went to school there. My family is partly Austrian and partly Israeli. So in the world there are 3 places that I could call home, and in neither one of them I really found much hope. When I grew up, society revolved around loads of topics, and very few of them actually had anything to do with what concerned me, what was my worries, my dreams, my longings. When I went to school, they taught me everything they believe was really necessary to become a good citizen and become a good worker. And they ignored everything that I needed to become me, a complete human being. So I left school, and I started traveling, looking for ways to be, looking for ways in which I can exist in this world. And what I find is that most people live a compromise. Some better and some worse, but in the end, compromises. Fit in or break out. Be silent when you know you really shouldn't, or try to be against something. Not much of be you. Be who you want to be. Be who you need to be. Live your own life. Create your own path, or find your own path. So what I was looking for was, how do I find my own path? I couldn't find it everywhere I looked. So 1 year went by, and eventually people tell me, you know, time to go to university, young man. That's what you do if you want to become anything in the world today. Go to university. And I want to be myself, and I want to become myself, and it didn't really seem like university was the perfect place to go for this, for me. So I almost applied, because this is what you do. Even though you don't want to, this is what you do. But then I happened to go to Amsterdam with a friend of mine over the weekend. No drugs involved there. And I walked into a place. No, the drug went too far. The joke went too far. I walked into a place called Knowmads Business School, and I stayed there. This was a school where, instead of explaining me how I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to learn, who I was supposed to become, they asked me, what are you dreaming of? And what do you need in order to become this? Or what do you need to learn in order to create this? I spent 1 year together with a tribe, as we call it, a class of 14 other young people from around the world, exploring ways of being and doing. No grades, no exams, and no diploma. Just questions and space for development. There's one memory. There's many memories, but there's one memory that sticks with me. It's very important to me. After 6 months, I stand in front of the whole school, a bit like today. And I'm lost. I don't know what to say. I feel completely desperate. There were half your presentations, and I couldn't express myself. look into the eyes of these beautiful beings in front of me, and I start crying. I tell them, I don't know how you do to live together. I don't know how you have fun together, how you enjoy each other's company, how everybody seems to fit in so well with human society, and I feel like a complete alien. Just completely wrong. So I stand there for half an hour, and I'm crying. And these people sit in front of me, and they look at me, and they listen to me, and they witness me. And when I finish, one by one, they get up, they walk up to me, and they hug me. They tell me, thank you for saying what I always felt. And maybe we are all aliens. In this moment, ironically, I experience connection. By saying my biggest fear in that moment out loud, I'm afraid I can't connect. And having this space of trust and love, by being able to be vulnerable in this, I could actually connect immediately to the people around me. So what I felt was hope. I didn't know how to do it still. I don't know how to connect, but I know that it's possible. I know that it's not impossible to connect. Knowmads equipped me with many memories like this. It's a school where the curriculum is based on questions and no answers. You have time, space, and resources enough to create your own answers, to find your own answers. What they taught me was much more than theory. What they taught me was life. Just by being there, trusting me, I began trusting myself as well. So at some point, my year at Knowmads ended, and I asked myself, what can I do? What is relevant in the world? And I came back to hope. Hope for me is where everything begins. If you can't imagine it, you can't really create it, right? If I can feel it, if I can picture it, if I can hope for it, eventually I will find a way to create it as well. If we all, everybody, imagined, hoped, pictured the best possible society, the best possible city, the best possible education, the best possible family, what could we create if we all, if my whole generation decided to hope? What a world could we create? These were the questions that made me curious. I mean, wow, imagine, we are so many people. Each one of us is infinitely, we have so much potential. So imagine we used it. So in order to find out what we could create, if we would, I figured I need to learn how we hope. How do we learn to hope? I learned to hope at Knowmads. Simple thing, I need to create more of Knowmads. So I decided to start another Knowmads school. And I decided to start this other Knowmads school in Spain. More specifically, in the south of Spain. Almost 1 year ago, I decided to settle in Sevilla. And Sevilla is this place that is really unusual to bring an innovative education to. So people ask me why. Why Sevilla? And what I tell them is, well, exactly because of that. There's nothing there that gives people hope. So I was curious, what can this magical word Knowmads bring in such a completely different context? There's Amsterdam and there's Sevilla. Let's see how this works. I was given a space to hope, to dream, when I was really longing for it. And through this, I could begin to trust myself, and I could begin to take action, make a difference. I think if we want my generation to make a difference in this world, and we definitely need to, then we need to begin by helping them, helping us believe that this is actually possible, that we can actually make a difference. So my request to you today, the next time that someone of my age shares their dream with you, this crazy idea, this crazy plan, this absolutely improbable project, please encourage them. We already know that it's difficult. We already know that walking our own path, living our own life, making a difference is going to be really difficult. We need help knowing that it's possible. So please, the next time that someone my age shares their dream with you, please encourage them. Imagine their crazy dream is our future.